Still, it's still glitchy. It's the same shit. So I went through this shit. People are telling me, "Oh, restart your stream," and I do it, and I have this horrible glitch. How do I have? What is the service issue here? Certainly, what I want to know. Well, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and I'm sorry, and I want to apologize. Yeah, I know. Dang shit, it's glitchy. Well, what do you want from me? What am I gonna do here? I'm stuck. I'm betwixt and between. I can't. This is like half the act is seeing me make my faces. This is really. I want to apologize to everyone. It's not like worse. This is embarrassing, and I want to apologize to everyone in the chat. I even had the audacity to put the topic of this to be the arts and culture section. David said Tom made a tribute and deserves a song. All right, David, pick the fucking song then. Asshole. Sean said, got you on a TV muted with spaces up. Neil said, I don't like being in spaces only and not being able to see you. Yeah, how do you think I like it? Maybe I'll just sing and get out of here and we'll just call it early. I don't know what to do. I don't have another option. Tom, pick the song. David said Tom picked the song. Thanks for the help, David. Guy's now producing the show. Spicer said, this is like when the Brady Bunch added Cousin Oliver. The Oliver episodes are disgusting. It's almost like, remember when Kramer went to Hollywood? What was going on there? Sean said, Space Oddity. But you're not, Tom. Julio said, I'm streaming on YouTube and listening on Spaces. Love you, RJ. Thanks. Sean said, it's about Tom. It's about a Tom. Okay, that's fair. Okay, Tom. Okay, Tom has a request for a song. Thank you, David. Yes, would love to hear Hairdresser as sung by John Travolta. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we all know one of my favorite songs, but as sung by John Travolta. Okay. Hey, man, it's getting long on the sides. Hey, man, don't give me too much chide because I'm going to go down to the shop and meet a guy I know. He's the best, whether you have a bowl cut or an afro. I tell you, my room is a mess, but I'm on my way to get my hair dressed. My favorite stooge, his name was Joe Besser, but he looks a lot like my hairdresser. Oh, hairdresser, cut it up. Oh, hairdresser, buzz it up. You know what to do. You have great shampoo. Dress it up. Please give me a do. Oh, the hairdresser, the way you cut my back and sides. Oh, hairdresser, I feel so alive. The way you put the smock around my neck. Oh, let me sweep up my hair. What the heck? And when it's done, can you give me a ride? I'll even pay for your barbicide. Oh, hairdresser, don't think me a cop, but to be honest with you, I think someone just stole one of your lollipops. Oh, the hairdresser, cut me up. Oh, hairdresser, trim me up. I love you very much. I do. Now, hairdresser, it's your turn too. Let me cut your hair. Let me show you how it's done. I love your sideburns. I could even put your hair in a bun. Oh, hairdresser, thank you for letting me show you how badly I want to do your do too. That was Hairdresser by John Travolta. Great song there. David said, please sing I Shot the Sheriff, but I'm not a fan of Bob Marley. You're a fucking riot. You really are. Mark said, so this is Travolta from Greece, right? No, this is him from Battlefield Earth. Oh, man, space is a wild place. You know what I'm saying? What? Who gave me dreadlocks? Who is this hairdresser on that movie? Nell said this could be the real song. I have no idea, and that's the joy of it. Tom said, thanks. Looking forward to the year 5 badge. Hang in there. Spot Center said, thank you, David. Travolta is my one-day vitamin. I can conquer the world now. Christine said, no request, just to ease the pain of glitchy fucking YouTube. Leo said Neil Diamond is better than Bob Marley. I mean, Bob Marley didn't write any songs for the Monkees. Neil did. So you do the math there. David said, or welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you left about. Well, the names have all changed since you've hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Who'd have thought they'd be back here where we need you? Here where we need, where we tease them a lot, but we got them on the spot. Welcome back. Dun, dun. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Dun, dun. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. That was welcome back, Cotter. Of course, he left and then came back. Blue Meanie is here. I said, good morning, all Meanie. It's been really choppy and I can't fix it and I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm going to call it in like 9 minutes and I feel bad for everybody, but I don't know. I don't see how we can go on like this. Positively E said, I like YouTube's nipple policy. You know, I broke YTV's nipple policy. I was the first nipple on YTV. There's a strict rule about it. And they said you have to cover your nipple. So they put I had to be thrown in the moat on Splat-A-Lot. So I had them make me an Andre the Giant armed singlet, like one strap bathing suit. And they were like, you can't show your nipple, though. So then I put a sticker over my nipple like a pasty. I looked like a burlesque dancer or Esther Williams or something. And I went into the moat. And, of course, I was projectile at such a speed that the sticker fell off. My nipple was exposed. But the censors let it in. And that's how I made history. It was a real, like, a modern-day laugh-in at that sense. Okay, Gamer said the audio is fine for me. Well, the video is shit, and that's kind of the point. Whoever said, I was looking forward to the membership badge level, but I lost it. My money is over. What a shame. Christine said, I didn't know we needed to hear the Welcome Back Cotter theme until now. Well, you did. Susie has a request. Please sing Zuzetta for the cutest puppy girl, Isis. Of course, the BRE dog, Isis puppy, one of them. I gave it an Italian name. I thought she looked like a Zuzetta to me. So I often, it's like a West Side Story. I'll sing Zuzetta. I just met a girl named Zuzetta, and she has more legs than any woman I've ever seen before. Zuzetta, won't you knock at my door and show me those legs once more? Sure, she has no arms, but legs she has many. If you look at me, I feel like I don't have any because she's so full of legs. And she's got me pegged. Zuzetta, a four-legged girl named Zuzetta. Watch her prance, watch her dance. I'm sure she does some freelance on the side. Zuzetta, my four-legged love named Zuzetta. I once knew someone who had one leg, and you're 4 times more leggy than her. Zuzetta, a four-legged girl named Zuzetta. I love you. That was Zuzetta. And I think it was cut from West Side Story, and I'm starting to figure out why. Aaron said, a nipple trailblazer. Mia said, I finally found the new one. I was listening in Spaces. Julio said, when are you going to get a TikTok? Let me be successful on like one app first. Like, is this shit not enough of a fucking struggle that I have to go to the next one? Like, what do you give a shit? You're waiting on TikTok? You're here on YouTube. Enjoy the shit I'm giving you. What do you want me to do? One of those fucking dances? And I'm going to blow up if I do some dance that was taught by some fucking family and they try to make it seem like it goes viral. But meanwhile, the guy's like a tycoon. And he has all these ins. The whole thing is a scam. The whole thing is just designed to keep you there like a moron. And you're looking at me going, when am I joining TikTok? That's really what the world fucking needed. I need to be on another app. You know, if I had a broom at my ass, I could sweep the fucking floor too. Leo said you should have had the Big Show 2001 women's one-piece swimming costume made. I tried my best. David loved it. Chris has been a member for 18 months, proud to be a part of it. Well, this is not a banner day for me. Nail said, happy memberversary, Chris. Positively E said, she sounds like a sleep paralysis monster. She kind of does. Everyone seems to love the Zuzetta song. David said, I still don't know how to become a member, but I'd never want to be a part of a cult that would have me as a member. Quoted the wonderful Groucho Marx. Singh said, I would enjoy watching RJ doing TikTok dances now that he says it. Good for you. You can probably pay me a shitload of money for it. I'm at the point where I've done enough shit online for fucking free. People are like, why don't you, here's a new thing. Why don't you just dance on it? It's very enjoyable. Nail said, RJ, you're going to be cranky all day because of YouTube glitches? What do you think, Nails? What do you think? Ty said, oh, I've heard this Zeta song before. I didn't realize that. I'm just so used to ignoring you and calling her names. Leo said, you should join Tout. All the cool kids use Tout. I've touted. Mark said, RJ is on fire this morning. Julio said, help. Susie said, thank you very much. It was very nice. David said, wow, Julio's getting the David Arquette treatment. RJ is triggered. That's for sure. Spot Center said, I have a member in my pants. That's weird. I said, okay, then you didn't have to eat me this way. Well, I found you indigestible. Nell said, David, you're one of us whether you like it or not. Tom said, note to self, don't ask about TikTok. Positively E said, the broom would slip right out considering your human lube. I think if you really, it was a rubber tipped broom. I don't know how I would sweep. I would have to rock back and forth to sweep. Leo said there was that Andre the Giant figure where they just used the R3 Big Show figure body with the women's swimming costume. In many ways, Andre just went to the seamstress and said, give me a women's swimsuit costume. David said, what else does RJ hate more? What does RJ hate more, TikTok or Bob Marley? Well, I don't hate Bob. I'm just not a fan. Is that so wrong? I'm not a fan of Spider-Man either. I've seen some of the movies. I get it. I don't admonish people for being a fan, but I'm not a fan. Doesn't mean I hate. There's no hate. I didn't say, oh, I hate Spider-Man the same way I hate, a Stanley Tucci, perhaps. Now, that's someone I'm not a fan of and I don't care for at all in any regard. You see the difference? David, do you understand the difference between my feelings towards Bob Marley and my feelings towards Stanley Tucci, who apparently still has not found Italy? See, BBC's outro is better than Groucho. Fair enough. Nail said, RJ really only dances with his shoulders anyway. I'm a shoulder guy. David said, I'm not a fan. Julio said, you're not a fan of Spider-Man? I'm not a fan. What's the big deal? He can go. Let the man go sling his fucking webs. Make $1 billion every movie you put out. Good for you. I'm not preventing you from doing shit. Sean has been a member for 18 months and is now admonishing my lack of Spider-Man fandom. Leo said, did you ever count on that guy from Sum 41? He was very clear about not doing that. I liked them. And I like when Will Sasso did their music video. Nell said, I'll happily cancel Spider-Man and Marley. Don't, Bob is not canceled. Spider-Man does not need to be canceled. Jesus. Adam said, I'm anti-TikTok as well. I'm not anti-TikTok. I got apps coming out of my ass. How much shit do I have to do? It's fucking reels, fucking shorts. Jesus. David said, Stanley Tucci is starting season 2. Maybe he'll choke on a zucchini. Is that how he said it? Zucchini. Yeah, what a pain in the ass that guy is. I'm going to walk into frame now. David, Spot Center said, I see a guy that looks like shirtless Dennis Franz every morning on my route. Shirtless. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? No, I think you should date that man. Mia said, I'm not a fan of Star Wars, so I get it. That's it. And that's fine. Julio said, I think TikTok links are annoying as fuck too. But I said, RJ, join TikTok because it's easier to blow up there. Who has fucking blown up where you're like, oh, and there's all of a sudden they're winning Golden Globes and Tonys and the world is at their feet. Blow up meaning you get 4 million views and then shit happens. And if you have to say the name of the app before you say you're a star. Like, you can't just say, oh, he's a star. He's a TikTok star. You're not a fucking star. If I have to specify it's a thing you have to have on your phone, you're not a fucking star. You're not. You've really narrowed down the category. It's not easy to blow up because it's so hard to blow up on YouTube. Remember this? 10 years ago, start a YouTube. You can blow up. That's a nice fucking lottery game that everybody's playing. It's a real Cinderella story. They'll take a couple people, they'll throw some money at them, but they also know that they're putting out shit for free on YouTube. So they'll sign them to really low-ball deals. And most of those people who blow up, let me tell you something, are fucking rich to begin with. So they can take those real estate business, whatever the hell it is. Easy to blow up on TikTok. Yeah, I'm going to dance like an asshole a little more in my life and see if that does the trick. I feel like I'm in Gamblers Anonymous right now. You do the story. Put everything on Reels. I fucking did. Every time I sneezed, I put it on Reels. What happened? Nothing. Shit, that doesn't happen. And then it's like, oh, this TikTok star did a dance with their dad. Is that what I even want to be known for? You ever think about that? You ever think, even if there's a real Twilight Zone scenario where somehow I blow up and hate for a reason I don't enjoy, that's it. Jesus. Whew. David said Snapchat scarred him. Yes, remember we did that thing and it was going to be for Snapchat and then it didn't fucking work? That's the bullshit I'm talking about, David. What happened to Quibi? Weren't we going to pitch to Quibi? Jesus. Sean said Bieber, Bo Burnham. That's about it. And all of that shit is a scam. To say Bo blew up on YouTube is, to me, incorrect. He's also a talented, seasoned comedian. There was comedy work there. You know what I mean? The man was a comedian. So they make it sound like it's this random lottery. It's just put your stuff there. You never know. And it's like, I do know that it's a fucking scam. Neil said, RJ is making me want to protest something today. Let me tell you something. They figured out they stopped making money off of viewers, really, because, the cable companies and digital media and Netflix, perfect example, made the average view time so much cheaper than it used to be. Really, in terms of having to own cable packages and whatever, it got much, much, much cheaper. Where they monetize it is, let's sucker people in to thinking they'll become famous by using our websites and our apps. And that's where we'll make the money, is people on here trying to do this. I feel like I'm in Hollywood walking the street. I feel like I'm in front of the Chinese theater there. And everyone's doing impressions and trying to, hopefully they'll get discovered. This is what it feels like. And this is horrible, especially when your video is glitchy. Queen said, go off, King. Gee, and don't get me started on Twitch. Jesus. It was very complicated. My favorite was when the pandemic started, a guy from Twitch called me, super nice guy. And they were trying to court people over to Twitch. And they were like, you can do everything you can do on YouTube. And I was already monetizing YouTube. So I'm like, what's the point? Why am I going to another thing? He was like, you can do everything you want except for make coffee in your underwear. We have strict rules about that. I'm like, well, that's all I do. Have you watched this at all? Jesus. Thank you for the support. Speaking of, though, at 12, go watch Church of Joshi on Twitch. They are having a good time, and they have nice microphones. They have very, very pleasant-sounding voices. Leo said, which old celebrity that you like would be on OnlyFans if they were in the peak of their fame now? Julie fucking Newmar. And quite frankly, she's still alive, and she could probably be on it right now. John said, it appears I have walked into a mad rant. Sorry, everybody. Mark said, just drink your coffee. Why don't you drink your coffee, Mark? That's good coffee. David said, go back to MySpace, you angry, angry man. Everyone had a good time. Leo said, you're on Parler? David said, you can't do OnlyFans. I can hardly use my phone. Somebody asked me to do OnlyFans. Like, oh, you should open your eyes. Like, what? You're not seeing any more than what you're already seeing on YouTube. I assure you. And you are seeing, for this price, fucking plenty. Believe me. Jesus. SM said, virtual hug. Love you, Archie. I hope your day gets better. This is my Black Mirror episodes that I have to rant and then all of a sudden I get all this money. Rob said, how about coffee and underwear and nipple tassels? Ba-dum-ba. Their thing was, Twitch's thing was, it's you can be in your underwear or you can be in a bathing suit if it's justified. So the only way I'm allowed to be in a bathing suit is if I'm in a pool. So all of a sudden I'm fucking Mark Spitz. That's totally fine. I guess I could shower potentially live on stream, but God forbid I just be standing in front of a door in my underwear. That's too much. But other than that, I can do whatever I want, except for there are such strict rules and regulations. Queen said, I'll be on Church of Joshi soon and we'll lose ratings. I balance it out. I'm called, a dip. I'm called a breather, a palate cleanser. Leo said, what's the 6-foot trend? What? I think it's just people eating at Subway. Nail said, always lovely to the queen despite the anger. I'm recognizing royalty. I'm reverent. David said, I'm going to dress as Dewey and stand in front of Man's Chinese Theater. Will you be my ghost face? That's my type of OnlyFans. You know what's so funny? David, he's doing he's done like 20 movies where he plays cops. And he's like the least, he's not someone I want to have any sort of authority at all. I don't understand why. Singh said, RJ hot tub stream. And I'm not going in a fucking hot tub because it's bad for my skin. Deshaun 2 cents there. Or you want to come in the hot tub? I said, I'll stand near it. Julio said, God, now I know how David feels. I'm sorry that RJ talked about TikTok. Positively E said, I'm streaming on Twitch, but I'm not happy about their warped views on the nipple. I think we should all take a stand and just everyone goes on Twitch and shows their nipples and they can't do anything about it. Ann Herb said, I believe Nancy Reagan would have a very popular OnlyFans. Let the woman do her business. Jesus. That's what she likes to do. My hat off to her. Jesus. Nobody's business but Nance's. I mean, don't get me wrong. She could have made a terrible politician. But Leo said, drink your coffee, Mark. You sound like an angry old wrestler now. Well, I mean, your name was Mark. I'm sorry. Queen said, I'm an underrated filler episode. I am. They're like, oh, what do we do? Just call RJ and let him talk for a little bit. SM said, shame we can't gift the anger. Oh, I know. This is an ungiftable episode. Julio said, David, you should dress up as Dewey and record TikToks. I agree. David has TikTok. Has he blown up on it? Fucking poor. Did you talk about what a scam this business is? David, 1996 Blockbuster award-winning David Arquette has to join TikTok and hopes he'll blow up. And another thing that bothered me is that when my dear friend Mario Cantone, and it was just his birthday, and happy birthday to him, and very excited to see him on the new Sex and the City show. He was on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, and he said some funny things. And then in the news, it says, clip of Mario Cantone from Wheel of Fortune goes viral. You can't go viral when you're already fucking Wheel of Fortune. More people are watching Wheel of Fortune than like any show ever. Millions and millions of people. And they're like, oh, it went viral. It's like, I think the goal is to be on Wheel of Fortune, not to go viral. What is viral? A bunch of other people are watching it for free and nobody's paying any advertising dollars and nobody's getting paid for those views? Jesus. Sajak looked good. Oh, yeah. Nail said, I feel like we're missing some great faces today. This is what got my... it was because people... There was one stupid tweet that said, oh, Madonna's the same age as her, and look at how much better Nancy looked. And then that set people off. That's what it was. It wasn't like, whatever. David said, but I'm definitely the type of cop you want to pull you over. Yes, because you would forget why you pulled me over by the time you walked to my car. Spot Center said, James Brown would never get in the hot tub on SNL. It was too hot. David said, just say no to OnlyFans. Mark said, and don't get me started on airplane food. Well, nobody has peanuts. I love when they make fun of stand-up comedians now doing airplane stuff. And they say, and the peanuts are so small. You're like, peanuts? Peanuts haven't been on planes for like fucking 40 years. John said, can we talk about Bowery Boys / Dead End Kids movies? I'll tell you something, John. Me and David, well, David introduced me to him, and I'm now friends with him. Gabe Dell Jr., and his father is Gabe Dell, who is in the Bowery Boys. So there you go. And he claims to have done the first ever comedic Dracula impression. And he did it on the Steve Allen show. And there's a clip of it. You can look it up. Leo said, will you and David do an OnlyFans where you do weird custom matches? All the cool wrestlers are doing it. I think most of our matches were kind of custom matches. I should put like a blue mat down. I'm pressing my coffee, by the way, if anyone can't see what the hell I'm doing anymore. Nail said, maybe David is just having fun on TikTok, RJ. Maybe it's not about blowing up. Ever heard of fun? I had fun, and it got me fucking nowhere, okay? That's what fun got me. I'm going to shit in one hand and have fun in the other. Leo said, I just don't get customs matches at all. I do, like, I'm not a fan of them, but I see it. David said, I think RJ's emotions are glitching too. I'm all over the place. It's a wave. John said, Mario's, hate to say best work, but top 5, Steam Pipe Alley. I agree. I mean, I loved the show and the freedom he was given too. Leo said, I think Jen Psaki is kind of hot, to be honest. She does, I think, a wonderful job. David said, wow, Bowery Boys shout out. Here's to Gabe Dell. There's good coffee. And it's mine. Rootlesscoffee.com. Julio said, I feel like I have broken ribs. Not going to lie. Mark said, airplanes got weird stuff now, like mini charcuteries and turkey. Yeah, it's like, don't try to be fancy. The max fancy they used to get was like Terra chips. You used to have to go on a plane to get Terra chips. Like they weren't available on land. It was like this little planet. You know, when you're in orbit there, you're like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Queen of the Ring said, this is my favorite RJ era. Wait till you see when I turn babyface. I was going to fuck all your shit up. Maybe this is me as a babyface. Rob said, Bowery Boys to me is the name of an excellent podcast website discussing New York City history. Well, the Bowery Boys, because they're really New York City street kids who became actors. Pogirl said, just in time for the poor. JD said, this is RJ's face turn ranting about social media corporations on YouTube and Spaces. I cannot escape. How else am I going to start a newsletter? David said, the artist Ed Gorey did the design for the Dracula Broadway play. Fun fact, and I do remember that because one of their first runs had the wonderful Raul Julia in it. Speaking of shitting in hands, says Nails, I once heard someone say, I'd rather shit in my hands and clap, and I found it so hilarious. In my family, the saying is, shit in your hat and block it. So my understanding is they expect you to take off your hat. And I'm going to say it's a top hat or a bowler or a fedora, that kind of thing, not a Stetson. And then I guess you would pull down your pants and shit in it, but then block it, I assume, with your hand. They're taking the long way around and just saying shit in your hand again. But I assume you wouldn't block it with a palm up. You'd be shitting on the back of your hand. That's how you would block something. Shitting in your hat and block it. It's a good familial saying. Sink said, Sea of Thieves mug. I like Sea of Thieves. I play it by myself. So I don't like being told what to do, and I don't like to rely on other pirates. So I've sailed the seas. If you see a lone, angry pirate, that's likely me. Major Famo said, this show has become like The Walking Dead, where it's mostly about people, but sometimes they're zombies. This show is never really about the coffee. That was the hook. Nail said, don't ever turn babyface. I can't handle it. Queen said, rename this video to RJ City Shoot Interview. You'll get 1 million views in 1 hour. There needs to be horrible hotel curtains behind me. And then I need to be asked questions that are just like, what do you remember about this match? What do you remember about this match? There was an Ultimate Warrior Shoot interview I saw years and years and years ago. I was like a teenager. I don't even know how I saw it. And the guy was like, well, what do you remember about working Hercules? Whatever the fuck. Like everything was like, what do you remember about working Ted DiBiase? And we're just like, listen, man, I can't remember what I was thinking during these matches. It's like, that's fair. I appreciate that. It really shot the Shoot interview dead. He shot it on the Shoot interview. Okay, Gamer said, RJ, come play Sea of Thieves with me on my stream sometime, please. Only if we could do it separately. If we could just get in different boats. Marty said, frustration was obviously the pressure valve for RJ's rage today. The glitching did not help me. Positively, he said, scream it out on the street corners with a megaphone like church people and a nice little box to stand on. John said, I grew up on Bowery Boys and Tarzan movies at my grandparents every Sunday on Channel 5 in New York. Isn't that nice? Positively, he likes top hats. Interesting fact. Tiffany said, I would pay money for an RJ Rants newsletter. Tiffany, I call bullshit because that's basically what I do every week, and you're not even a member. Think about that. Yeah, no one is safe today. Leo has a request. A bad singer on X Factor, a 60-second scene request. A bad singer on X Factor getting torn apart by Simon Cowell, but the contestant has a special power that can make people shit themselves. All right, so I assume I'm Simon Cowell? Okay, all right, here's the scene. Simon Cowell giving shit to a bad singer and then shitting himself. What I didn't like about it was all of it. I didn't find it good, but I also didn't find it bad. I didn't find it at all. Do you know what I'm saying? I've lost it. And I forgot where I was for a moment, but where I was in my head was not anywhere good. You put me in sort of a musical purgatory. And that's why I'm going to... You know what? I think you're going to Vegas. And perhaps in Las Vegas, if the producers are listening, they have a bidet. That would be very helpful to me right now. And I want to apologize to Mel B for having to sit next to me. I'm sorry it happens. And also, if there's anyone backstage who can reupholster a chair. And scene. That was Simon Cowell shitting himself. I can't even use these anymore because the video is glitchy. John said, was the same Dracula with Frank Langella played Dracula? Yes, it was the same one. I think Frank Langella went on to do the movie, and then Raul took over. Much more handsome Dracula. Between you and me, if I have to be seduced by Frank or Raul by a long shot. Let me say, nothing wrong with Frank. I'm just romantically not a fan. Mark said, make the show a traveling show where you go to different cities and walk into their coffee shops in your underwear. Hijinks ensues when the owners try to kick him out. Those are hijinks. Positively Easy, did RJ say Hook? They were like, debuting Hook. And I went, Dustin Hoffman? Or here's even a more obscure reference. They said, debuting now is Hook. And I said, Cyril Richard? Look it up. Mia said, this is like a remix episode because sometimes he repeats what he says with the glitches. Sorry. Singh said, name it RJ Shoots on Enzo and it'll get recommended to all wrestling fans constantly until YouTube dies. Neil said, RJ has defeated Hook. I did win the battle of wrestler who doesn't wrestle. Pogirl said, are we having solar flares right now? What's with the feed today? Did you just join us? Blue Meanie wrote something and then retracted the message. And now I'm like, what did he write? And I'm upset about it now. Spot Center said, break your shoot interview up into 47 2-minute clips. I've been watching Greg Valentine interview for 3 years. SM said he's calling out non-members. Leo said, Hook, bringing back those male side bangs. This is great. It's like the John Travolta hairdresser song. David said, is Simon Cowell talking about Bob Marley? There's no way he's a fan either. Positively, he said, RJ's newsletter is the members-only community tab on YouTube. Sadly, it doesn't come with a jacket. Blue Meanie said, you were frozen mid-sip for a few minutes on the Roku app. I had to exit and go back in. Maybe I just held it up for an inordinately long time. Darnell left the spaces. I upset him. Maybe when Simon Cowell apologized to Mel B, he was like, I've had enough of this shit. David said, maybe you could have a movie called Hi, Jinx. What do you think about that? Julio said, RJ, do you have a hate list Or just a not a fan list. No, I have a hate list, and I think Nails knows about it. Stanley Tucci, Mark Ruffalo, Betty White. I'm trying to think there's anyone else. I really don't think there is. Nail said, SM How? It's the hardest thing ever to do on YouTube. Nobody can ever find it. I have an iPhone, and I don't know how you do it. Mark said, got to change my name to TJ Country. Cool. David said, Solar Flares, another great move name. Well, since I don't do them, it doesn't really matter. Leo said, you ever seen the clip with Howie Mandel and Aubrey Plaza on a chat show? No, I haven't. And she ain't putting up with his unfunny shit. Did he do the thing where he put the rubber glove on his head, though? Because that's undisputedly a riot. Positively, he said, I understood the Greg Valentine thing. Sink said, my hate list is Stanley Tucci, Mark Ruffalo, Betty White, and TikTok. And Nail said, and Steve Martin when he plays a banjo. I tried to cancel Steve Martin. It didn't stick. I just put out, let's canceled. And everyone went, what? What's your problem with Steve? Subscribe. Thank you, SM. Michelle said, thanks for the well wishes, everyone. I'll be having surgery on Tuesday. Well, hopefully that will solve the problems I'm having. I also hope, Michelle, that if they have to put you under, they give you the flavored gas they give to the children when I put them under. I remember when my brother had surgery, he had an orange flavor. I want surgery. David said, a move, not a movie. RJ is going for a high jinx. That's even more stupid than your movie idea. That's even more stupid. I'm turning into Betty Davis than your movie idea. He's David Arquette is the worst one of all the Arquettes. Neil said, and I'm never letting Dan House despite RJ's persistence. I'm not a fan Housen. Leo said, what about Jay Leno? I don't like him for sure, but I don't know if I hate. Or Gary V. I parody him so much. It's a good source of, I think it's very helpful. Neil said, we will cancel Chelsea Green when she pays her debts. I now sent her the podcast episode. That was this week's podcast episode, was the story of how Chelsea Green owes me $10. And I went into great detail. And she was like, oh, none of this is true. And the whole thing is true. And she ought to be ashamed of herself. And I'll call witnesses. I don't think we need to have those Spaces trials with Chelsea Green. I think this is an open and shut case. I don't think this was a case that goes to trial. Maybe if there was a Judge Mills Lane. Or maybe I should sue her on Steve Harvey's show, his judge show now. Nail said, we will. Oh, yeah, I've read that immediately already. Pogirl said, I had ether back in the day for surgeries as a child. Dear Lord, are you okay? Spot Center said, your Greektown announcement, do it here. That would be great if I just made my announcement that I was going to make at the Greektown show on the 23rd at Ryerson, where I used to go to university, and that's incredibly awkward. If I made it here, and then I wouldn't have to go. That's not a bad idea. Mark said, was never really a fan of Jay Leno. Singh said, I love impressions of Jay Leno because it's like listening to somebody slowly let air out of a balloon. You didn't hear about that? Yeah, that's fair enough. Leo said, Jay just gives me a bad vibe. I didn't even bring up Jay Leno. Somebody brought it up, and now everyone's jumping on it. Mark said, I just have her buy you an airplane charcuterie and call it even. If I am ever on a plane with Chelsea Green, the stewardesses are going to know that she owes me $10. Leo said, what about Tony Robbins? You know what? Was not a fan of him. Even in Shallow Hal, I wasn't a fan of Tony Robbins. It's a deep cut there. Michelle said, I'll be sure to request the flavored gas to put me under. I will be completely under, so I hope at least I have some really cool anesthesia creams. See, even with major surgery, there are some fun things to look forward to. Bogirl said, what do you think, RJ? Am I okay? No. And I would sue those doctors. Julio said, I'm not a big fan of James Corden. I'm not going to disagree with that. Neil said, do we ever put Ron Funches on the list, or did he just irritate you? He irritated me. I don't hate. I'm like, he stays out of my way more than enough. Rob said, what was the interest rate on the $10? Was it compounding interest? Let's talk about my gentlemanliness and the fact that I didn't even charge her interest. I just want the money back. And she's so brazen. Or just give them a little, a card, and it says, you owe me $10, you prick. But congratulations, Matt. Singh said, what's the beef with Ron Funches? I don't know. I'm not a fan. Pogirl said, Ether Dreams, another cool wrestling move, right, David? Shut up. Spot Center said, how will you calm down after this fiasco? Do you have a cat to pet? or should I meditate? I'm going to put on some Annie Lennox. Leo said, I don't like Ron Funches, to be honest. Seems phony. See? Not the only one. Nail said, would you accept a Whole Foods voucher from Chelsea? Not a voucher. It feels like we're rationing. It feels like it's wartime all of a sudden. Leo said, James Corden is the fucking worst ever. Yeah, but what about when he sings? That's a good part. It's like when I sing and everyone goes, look, he's singing. And that's the show. Rachel said, not a fan is a loaded phrase now. I'm not. I don't, and nor do people have to be fans of mine. It's okay. That guy the other day that did that whole unboxing of the Wrestle Crate and then opened that pin and he was like, RJ City. And then he literally said, am I stupid? Who is RJ City? And like, you know, first instinct is to be mad. But then when you see it, you're like, I cannot be mad. This person genuinely does not know who I am and is trying to. And the silence gave me hope. It was a man wanting to know who I was. And, you know, it's my fault because I'm not on TikTok. That's why he doesn't know who I am, because I'm not doing fucking dances on TikTok. Neil said, Sink, he's not funny. His laugh is the funny thing, I think. Or RJ didn't think he was genuinely laughing at things. I'm not sure, but RJ wanted to kill him with a glare every time he spoke, though. Oh, yeah, me and Ron Funches did the thing I busted open like last year. Mark said, how many grandmothers do you think will get hit by reindeers this holiday season? You know, grandma got run over by a reindeer, meaning she was underneath the reindeer, meaning she was incredibly small or already lying down. I would like to look at the police file on that. Nail said, the guy never knows anyone. He told his viewers Effie was a famous British, it's the ish. I got the ish from British grappler. Oh, Effie, so good to see you. Wonderful wrestling, Effie. He does sound like a foppish character. I hope that makes sense. Is that a term that people know? Oh, Effie. Come, Effie. So good to see you. Come show everyone a hammerlock, Effie. A rousing show, Effie. I think, you know what? If Effie's not a fan, we're not fans of. Spot Center said, the robot on Craig Ferguson was funnier than James Corden. Oh, I loved Craig Ferguson. It was a good, fun show. Nell said, I'm not a fan of RJ. I'm an ardent supporter and a cult member. You do it to prove a point. Julio said, Spot Center saying the truth. Let's hear it. Mark said, Effie, the famous vaudeville grappler, came all the way and showed everyone. Effie. Rob said she is. She describes me as a hoot. I am a hoot. I'm a hoot and a pip. Sean said, friends, fans, wrestlers, I come not to praise Effie, but to bury him. Leo said, I'm not a fan of Hacker the dog. Now, I call bullshit, Leo. I have talked to Hacker on Twitter, the famous British dog puppet, and I like him. Sean said, Craig Ferguson was the best. It's a great day for America, everybody. Well, I want to personally apologize for the glitchiness, but then I also want to thank everyone for hanging in, not only in the chat where I'm choppy, but on Spaces too. And I know I didn't have a guest because I didn't want to, because then I can't record. So maybe Queen or maybe Darnell next week if you're around. I'm more than happy to have you on. Thanks for tolerating all of this. Sean said, Craig Ferguson was the best. We did that already. Singh said, I think about the photo of Paul McCartney on Craig Ferguson once a week. Nail said, Effie is fighting Dalton on Zicky's upcoming show. I can't even. And I'm not fighting either of them. So maybe I do need to turn babyface. Maybe this is the only way. Michelle said, I'll spread the love this morning. I'm a fan of everyone in the chat. Cult. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. Spot Turner said, and we end where we started. Favorite Hacker, Scotty O'Shea story. I told you when he apologized when he blew his hot comeback. That's it. Go buy my coffee and find me on TikTok under Echo Fuck Yourself. Here's the final shot of the underwear, which you can't see because it's all glitchy. I'm doing a spin. I'm bending over. I feel like this is described video. Until next time, Godspeed.